So in this one, I want to talk about how I've been very much influenced by the alpha maleism, the Andrew Tate style alpha maleism that you see online. And this is not to bag on the guy. I actually quite like him and the ideas that he has to say. And also a lot of the other guys that are in the quote unquote alpha male space that are presenting themselves as like the super strong masculine men and everything. Like, there's qualities about them that I like, and actually, just in general, support what they say and what they do, and I like it, and I actually enjoy the content. Um, it's just that what I did is that I got too caught up in the kind of uh, identity, or rather the way of being that they portray, and so like what I like about these guys, for example, is like for example Andrew Tate. His character is very very like commanding, um, very just upfront and just direct, and can be very, I guess, powerful in a way, in a sense that he can uh, bulldoze other people over in a way. And when I saw that initially, I saw that as like, wow, okay, cool. There's something to it, to this style of, I guess, being a man that drew me in. And where I was coming from a place where I felt very weak within myself, and very, like, I had a desire to, it's kind of like, uh the words that's coming to my mind is like that small man syndrome, is like when you have somebody that's, um I guess with small man syndrome, it's like a different thing. It's like when somebody is like like a man is, especially is like quite short or like really small. Um, it's almost like he has a chip on his shoulder, going like, ah, fuck, everyone's kind of teasing me about this whole thing of being short, and then it's like this constant need to fight back and need to uh, prove oneself. It's like a chip on their shoulder. And for me, I guess where it came from, my desire to, my aspiration towards these kind of guys, is came from a place of, yeah, like there's a part of me that's like weak or that's shameful, and I wanted to be more, I guess, direct, more upfront in the world, more capable of just being like, okay, this is me, and I'm okay with that. And what I saw in these guys was that they were very capable, all these like characters online, the uh like, it's like Andrew Tate is like the best example of them, but there's a whole bunch of them. I can't remember the names of them right now, but they kind of present themselves as like these like more macho kind of, um masculine guys. And I like them because it they showed a way of presenting themselves, of putting themselves forward, that was in a very I don't give a fuck kind of attitude. And there was something attractive about that I liked, that I wanted that quality of being so like okay with myself that I can just put it out there. But at the same time, you know, there's there's guys that can just do that, and there's guys that like force that. And for me, like, I was definitely trying to force it by trying to copy paste what other guys I saw online were doing, like these bigger, tough men, strong guys, and everything like that. Like, and I was trying to just copy paste onto me, like their character, their way of speaking, the way of being, And yes, there was a feeling, like a surface level feeling of like, yeah, I feel more powerful, I feel more strong, like I got my puffed up chest and everything, and I feel great. But there was still that in a part of me that always felt that tension of like, I'm putting on a mask here, and I'm kind of forcing it. And that's what showed up in in my videos, where people were seeing two different versions of Daniel, of me, where they knew me in person as a very different kind of man to the person that's on camera. On camera was a very different kind of guy that was definitely very faked, and it was in my previous videos that I was really trying to push it, um, because I wanted to. I was still like, I'm still in the process of doing these videos, of like trying to find my voice, of trying to figure out, all right, like how do I express myself in this world? How do I, speak out and reach out to other people? And the idea that I had in my mind was like, oh, okay, I have to be more direct. I have to be more capable of putting myself out there, and more, I guess, like shameless about who I am. And, I just need to, stand up and just put myself out there, right? But in the process, what I did is that I copy pasted the attitudes of these guys that you see online, right? These like macho guys, but it's their attitudes, it's their behaviors, it's not mine. And that's why it came off as very disingenuous. It came off as too try hard or posing, or it came off as just unnatural, because it's not me. And so what I've come to realize is that in seeing the reflections from the people, the close ones, like, my brother or my family, or, other people that watch my videos that also may know me in person as well, or rather that may also see the kind of like the flip-flopping between these different attitudes across my videos. In realizing that I was kind of putting on this mask, I realized, like, no, this is coming from a place of like a shame within me, that I didn't find myself, my own flavor, my own way of being as acceptable. It was I guess in my mind it was saying, yeah, this is shameful to be who I am on camera, on video, whatever it may be. And so I needed to put on this mask of, this macho man that kind of knows what he's talking about, and he's very direct, and he's very, just like I saw online. Because what I was trying to emulate was the confidence that those guys were portraying. And I don't know what's going through their heads either. Possibly that there's a hurt side in them that's they're trying to overcompensate for. Possibly. But that is also their style. And that's them. It's their flavor of being, and that's who they are. And I have my own flavor of being. And when I made that realization, and the next day I went into dance class, and I, was hanging around all of my dance friends in person. Like there was many moments throughout that class that I was kind of looking at myself, going, "Holy fuck! I'm a completely different person. I'm a very happy, jovial, very. I make a lot of jokes. I do like a lot of, like I'm just light and easygoing. I'm not like how I portray myself in the videos at all, where it's just like fucking. It's like in reality, like I had to actually stop and like look at myself and go like, wow, I'm acting as a completely different person. This is how I normally act, and this is how everybody knows and loves me as well. And it's like, why the fuck am I putting on this dumbass mask? Like, why am I doing this? And I guess it's just for these, these clicks, this fucking viewership and everything like that. I'm trying to accomplish something. And so therefore I need to hide away my actual true self and put on this mask. This mask that I saw was that was the vision of confidence that I saw online. And so yeah, in that class, when I was interacting just with the people that know me, and that I know them, and freaking love those guys, I was a very different person. And in that moment I realized, like, holy shit, people already love me as who I am. Like, why do I need to hide that? Why do I need to feel shameful about who I actually am? And perhaps who I actually am maybe isn't so much of that, like, just straight, confrontational, masculine, fucking blah, 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 like attack kind of guy. It's like, all right, I'm not that. That's their flavor and not mine. I have a different flavor. I have a different kind of way of being. Why do I need to mask that? And that's where I realized is that it was coming from a place of shame around that, saying, well, okay, who I am, I thought I was too soft. I thought I was too, I genuinely thought I was just very, like, quite feminine, and that, you know, why should I make a video if I'm feeling all feminine, and if I'm not a feminine kind of guy. It's just like, I keep it very light and easy. I keep it very, I joke around, I fuck around a lot. And there was a part of me that was like judging that, of going, no, I shouldn't put that on video. People don't want to watch that shit. It's like, and so I replaced it with this false self that I saw online. And so what I realized is that, yeah, because I wanted to express myself more, because I wanted to bring myself out there more, I kind of fell into this trap of saying, okay, I need to be more confrontational. I need to be more, act as if I know fucking everything. I need to act as if I've got the answers and this and that, and just like the guys that I saw online. Because they are all the expert talking heads and this and that and everything, all the shit. And it's like, no, I don't need to do that. And in learning that, that's just part of my journey in figuring out how I'm going to, what my voice is online, what my voice is and way of being is on these videos. And so, yeah, that's the main lesson that I learned, is that I don't need to be, like, if I really want to come out on these videos more true to myself, more expressive, I realize that I don't need to, like, force it by kind of like pushing this image that was in my head. I don't need to push this this bravado. I don't need to push this mask, because that's what it was. Like, even though I thought I was trying to be more open and trying to be more real, I was still putting on a mask, right? And that's where there was this constant level of like tension that was there as I was trying to make the videos, because that mask was always on, because I was trying to put up a false front. Whereas what I realize now is like the way that I actually want to go is just to be more of me. And to drop the judgment of like, okay, yeah, I don't need to be this particular way. I can be, that more softer version of I guess masculine expression that isn't all like fucking, confrontational and just like ba ba ba. I can just be me. And that's where it came from. It was like it came from a shame of like saying it's not acceptable to be this, I guess, softer kind of self. But that's just who I am. So that's where I've learned, like, my experience and what I've learned about, well, what I've learned in coming with contact with this whole fucking masculinity shit that's like all over the internet nowadays, with like figures like Andrew Tate and um, other guys, other like internet tough guys out there, Justin Waller and all them guys. Like, they're doing good work. I like him still, but I don't need to copy what they're doing, because they are them and I am me. And for me to try and copy them is just basically not being genuine. It's putting on the mask. So that's what I've learned, is that my expression of masculinity doesn't have to line up with the talking heads online as well, because that's where it came from. It came from that judgment of myself, of like, my form of masculinity, my way of being, doesn't line up to what they would do, how they would express, how they would talk. And yes, they do have some good points of how to present yourself and how to do stuff, but I got a little bit lost in it. I got a little bit too deep into it, which is pretty much the moral of the story that I would like to share with you, is that, yeah, these guys online, yeah, they do have some, value and everything to them. And also take them with a pinch of salt. Understand that there's this quote, is like, you have to take what's good from, each thing that you come across, and discard what's unnecessary or not useful to you. And then you basically alchemize and form your own most valuable way of being, doing things, or expressing yourself, but you don't copy and paste, as I did. Because I tried to copy and paste, like, Andrew Tate's style of speaking, because I liked it, and I saw that it was, it's effective online, it's effective of getting viewers and attention, but what kind of viewers and attention is it the one that I'm looking for? He's on a different path, and looking to get different kinds of media attention. I'm looking to get, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out my voice, but I tried to copy his, and that didn't work. It came off as disingenuous. So the moral of the story is, I learned that I should not just straight up copy, and to also be okay with my own expression of my masculinity, of my own form of my own voice, in the sense of like how I speak, what I say, the way that I act, and to not to judge it so much that I would want to just fully replace it and come off as disingenuous. And to also look at these guys in a different way, where it's like, I don't need to just, because this was what I was pretty much doing, was just like I would listen to something that they would say and go like, oh yeah, that's a really good idea, I need to do that, and then just instantly try and do it in their style and just try and copy them, because that doesn't work. It's finding out what's my expression of that. What's my expression of, you know, of good public speaking? What's my expression of expressing myself? And it doesn't have to look like this, and that's okay. And that was the one thing that I really mainly learned, was that I don't have to look like them, be like them, talk like them, you know, move like them, or do anything like them. I've got my own style, and that's okay. I think that's the main moral of the stories here, is that, you know, listen to these guys if you want to, pick up what you find valuable, but don't get lost in it, and craft your own way of being, craft your own style, figure out who you are, and, you know, who you are is like, you know, people will like you for that, and just go with that. You don't need to replace it with something that, like I did, is like, I saw other people doing something that were getting success with it. I need to replace all of who I am with their expression. Just does not work. So, and it works for them because they have a different life setup, they have a different personality, different upbringing, different, you know, mental frameworks, mental mindset, different beliefs, different everything. And to try and copy that over to my life, that didn't work. So I've learned is that there's no real copy pasting or anything here. I just have to form my own way. So I just want to say a big thank you for watching, and this is just something that I'm still learning to do in my little journey here of making videos and speaking to you, and figuring all of this stuff out. So, and I hope that you found this useful. I hope that you craft your own way of being. I hope that you craft who you are as a person, and that you really take a look at yourself and say, and allow who you are to shine through. If you're also making on this journey of video production, or even if you're not, look at yourself and just allow who you are to shine through. It doesn't need to look like what everybody else says online. Just, it's all noise. Listen to the parts that you find that works within you and that is useful to you, and then integrate that into yourself somehow. The main important thing is that you shine through at the end of the day. So I just want to say a big thank you for watching, and don't get lost in all the noise online. There's so fucking much of it. There's just so much noise online. Don't get lost in it, as I did. Because sometimes you might get a painful wake up from other people saying, you're all caught up in this, you're not being real. And then once you have that moment, it's kind of like, oh fuck. So stay true to yourself and find out what your flavor is. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the next video.